What's up, crypto fans? I got a question for you. Do you want to learn how to read a company's financials? Do you want to know if a company is going to make it or break it? What about people using cryptos as a store of value on their books? If you want to learn that, wait. Here, I'll show you really quick and then let me know in the comments below if you want to learn something like this. Because if so, we'll do a live stream, and then after the live stream, I could chop up it and make it into a video. But I'll show you a little preview. Just the tip, I think we might say. Oh, baby, you're getting into Big Daddy's backyard. And yep, I'm just going to give you the tip just to tease you. And let me know, seriously, if you're into this stuff. All right, breaking MicroStrategy replies to FASB standards to update Bitcoin holdings. Here's the deal, everyone. As per MicroStrategy, the largest public company holder of Bitcoin, right? They put Bitcoin on their books as an asset, okay? You can play it both ways. It's actually really cool. MSTR revealed that as of March 31st, its holdings of 140,000 Bitcoin, and it mentioned that the company bought these Bitcoin at a cost of 4.17 billion, blah, 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 blah. Numbers, okay? What you can do is you can go into these companies' quarterly filings, specifically the 10Q. In here, we can actually pick apart the books of any publicly registered company. This is so freaking cool. But anyways, here you go. Digital assets, we can compare them to the quarter before. We can compare them to the year before. We could also compare debt structures, right? You can see here, MicroStrategy now has less debt than they did the quarter before. They also have more assets, as you can see. So just from a really, really high level, like I said, just the tip, we're not going all the way, right? They are decreasing their liabilities while increasing their assets. Now, you can even take these buckets even further. See how this says digital assets right here? You can even take this further, and you can actually go specifically into their holdings right here. You just have to know how to read a P&L, specifically a 10Q. But what's awesome about this is you can see, look, approximate number of Bitcoins purchased, all the digital assets, what their losses are. You get my point. But what's neat about this is you can use this now for any publicly traded company. So think of someone like Coinbase that has insane expenses and their income is going down. Oh yes, interesting, isn't it? So for instance, operating activities, we can see how much they have for credit losses. We can see for accounts receivable, a whole bunch of stuff. In fact, you can even do ratios for how much marketing a company spends versus their revenue. And the reason I bring up the marketing thing is because this is a seriously hidden stat that a lot of people skip over. I want you to think of a company like McDonald's, right? What if McDonald's were to all of a sudden, no marketing budget, right? Nothing in the news. What would happen to their revenue? Well, we can check that kind of stuff by going back a couple reports to see, hey, as they decrease their marketing, do people still want their product? Or is their product, right, their success of their product based on how much they're spending on marketing, right? We can go through all that and so much more, but I just wanted to highlight to show you that even a marketing budget compared to revenue is a huge pivotal data. Then what we can do is compare another time period within that company and see, hey, when they spent less on marketing, did they have the same amount of growth? There's so many different ways that we can pivot this data, and that's actually what big time investors do. They go into these 10Qs and they just pick these things apart. Some of the stuff that I want to show you has to do with income statements, also has to do with what they're carrying as losses on their books. And they go into hardcore detail in these statements. In fact, this one here is 95 pages long. We've got debt notes, when they're going to be expiring, how much they are. It's cool stuff. If you're into this kind of stuff and you want to see how a company is putting stuff on their books, if the company is in healthy financial shape, if their marketing is working, are they cutting costs with labor? Are they cutting other operational expenses? Do they have fixed costs that are getting out of control? What about their marketing budgets and so forth? What about revenue streams? All of that stuff is covered in here, and I can show you exactly what to look for. Like I said, this one here for MicroStrategies is 95 pages long. It is freaking crazy. But what's so cool about this is once you start building in ratios, you start getting a better understanding on if a company is making it or not. Just imagine, right? Let's make it basic, just the tip. Company makes 1 billion. 1 billion doesn't mean anything, right? Because what if their expenses are 1.1 billion? What if they're spending tons on marketing, but the returns are getting less and less over time? So then we could see what marketing effectiveness is versus revenue. We could build ratios through that. We can also see what they're doing with their fixed expenses, especially when it comes to selling of property, buildings, like offices that they're occupying and stuff like that. Also staff expenses, as they let go of staff. Are they able to save enough money to keep afloat? That's a Coinbase reference right there. If you're into this stuff, let me know down below. I will gladly do a live stream and totally dork out with you guys on this. Now, the reason this is so important is because I use this tool for my own shenanigans, okay? I most recently made a big hit, and it had to do with a company that was cash strong, zero debt, but was being pummeled by other bad actors in the same space. It was a gold mining company. I used their 10Q to my advantage to see what their burn rate would be compared to their competitors. Also, what was their profitability per dollar spent on expenses? So I started working throughout all these, and I made an absolute killing. Why? Because at the end of the day, what does it come down to? Can a company keep going? What is the health of their books? What is the health of their cash reserves? Are they carrying too much short-term debt? Have they parlayed a lot of long-term debt out there to make their short-term look good, but their long-term look bad? You can compare it also against their peers, develop even more ratios with that, and pick the winners and losers very easily. If you're into this stuff, again, just let me know down below. We'll fire up a live stream about it. And for those of you that can't make a live stream, I'll chop it up into an educational video so that we can all see how to read a company's P&L. And if you want to get really gritty, you want to get really dry, I can show you some FA3 level stuff that will blow your mind.